Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper. I'm here for Altenew today, and I've got a very clean and simple, easy Zig watercolour card to make using this gorgeous set, which is called Floral Frame, and I'm using the flower image out of it and just stamping out in the bottom left hand corner of my card. This is some Bristol cardstock, so it's a nice smooth cardstock, and because I'm going to watercolour, I have used some archival jet black ink, and I'm going to just use some Inkadinkado stamping mask paper to cover up the original image because I want that to look like it's at the front. So I'm basically going to fill up this whole corner of the card with these flowers and make it look like almost like a bouquet. And then I can just remove my mask, and anything that was stamped on top does now look like it's underneath. Okay, so I decided to go with the lilacs and violet colours today from my Zig watercolour set, and the technique that I'm using is just simply adding the colour direct to the image. I did do it a couple of ways, so I added in this flower here I added both the light and some of the darker violet colours before I added any water on top, just to see how it would go. So I'm quite new to the Bristol cardstock, and I do like the way that it allows the colour to blend. It is easier, which is what I've heard from everybody. it's easier. I can do a larger area. I was finding on some of the other watercolour cardstocks, if I added the Zigs directly to the paper or the cardstock, then it would be almost like they dried before I could get my water to them, so I really had to work in small areas. But with this Bristol, it does give you a little bit more time and makes it that much easier. You don't have to think about it as much. So the other way that I added colour was I wanted this, I'm calling it a rose, and flower. I'm not sure. I think it's a rose. It could be anything. But anyway, it's pretty. And so I wanted this one to be darker, so I actually coloured first, added my water, and then came back with the darker colour, added that where I thought the shadows might be. So I'm doing the same on this flower here to the right. I just wanted another darker flower, and it had to be offset. I didn't want it to look uneven when the colouring's done. So there's going to be 3 lighter flowers and 2 darker, so that way, you know, it's sort of a group of 5 flowers to sort of balance it out. So after it dried, I did come in and colour the leaves as well as add some dark sort of grey colour to this darker flower, just to give it some depth. I have listed all the colours at the blog, and the link will be in the YouTube description below. The sentiment I'm going to use today comes from the Goals set. This is one of those little mini stamp sets that has lots of fun sort of encouragement sentiments on it, and I'm going to heat emboss it with some platinum embossing powder. It's a really nice kind of a warm grey silver colour. I also decided to get my Copic multi-liner out and repair some of my stamping. It just didn't stamp out properly on the main image, and I rocked the stamp on this flower here. So a way around that is just to make the actual stamped image a little bit wider. I want to stamp out the word dream, and rather than do it in black, I thought today I'd stamp it with some evening grey. This R here has a longer sort of line up to it, so I did have to just kind of rub that off the edge of the stamp before I stamped it next to the D, but it worked out perfectly. I thought it would be really pretty to add some embossing powder to the top portion of the word. This is a Versamarker, and it's basically the Versamark ink but in a pen form. So wherever I'm putting this ink, the embossing powder should stick to. So I did do a few like dots of embossing, you know, around the edge of the flowers as well. But of course the word was stamped with ink, and the whole thing nearly got covered with embossing powder. So just easy fix was, before I heat set it, I just used a soft brush to wipe away some of the extra powder there. No dramas. Then I could just hit it with my heat tool, and this colour actually works perfect with the evening grey. I know, it's just so pretty. I cut my sentiment down, and then I'm going to stick my watercolour panel to the top of this is a top fold card. It's a landscape, and just use my ATG gun to do that. And then I popped up my sentiment with some foam tape, foam, what do you call it, foam adhesive, and then using a little bit of matte medium to adhere some sultana sprinkles from Sprinkleberry. And of course I did them in a group of 3 because odd numbers look better. And finally I'm adding just a little bit of, this is the Crystal Spectrum Noir glitter pen, and I added that to the flowers. Not the whole lot, just some of the flowers. That's my card today. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back again real soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.